Hello everybody, Claudia here. This is part of a new series that I'm doing for YouTube. I'm not sure what I'm going to call it yet, but unlike my other vlogs, this is a sort of uncut, unedited video and a series of videos that I'll be doing where I answer some big questions or some of the questions you guys suggest to me. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about the 6 things I wish I had known about the ASO or student government before I had joined. A little background on me. I was student body president and student trustee of the ASO of Southwestern College back in 2011. I was a senator at large the year before that. And the year before that, I was president of Phi Theta Kappa, of the chapter of Phi Theta Kappa at Southwestern College. It is currently 2020, and I'm back in school to finish my degree, and I'm currently a senator at large. So I've gotten a chance to see all sorts of perspectives on student government. Oh, and in addition to that, I'm communications officer for Region 10, so the 9 colleges of the Southern California, or the state of California. So like I said, I've gotten a chance to see different ways that student government works, different angles, different eras, and I made a list of 6 things that I think if I had known about student government before I actually joined, it would have saved me a heck of a lot of trouble. So here they are. The first thing I wish I had known about student government before joining was that student government is serious, but it's not that serious. Before I joined, I thought that I had to know everything under the sun about government and meetings, and I thought that everybody was going to be wearing a suit and tie, but the truth is that's not at all what it's like. People who join student government many times are just looking for friends. They're looking for a way to make connections with people. Many of them see student government as a political sorority or a fraternity of some kind, and they just want a way to connect with other people. And it's sort of like a giant fan club with really cool retreats. So if you're joining or thinking of joining student government and you think it's going to be super serious, relax. It's really not that big a deal. It's important, and some people, for them, it's the air they breathe. But for many people, it's really just something they do for fun. So take it easy on yourself. The second thing I wish I'd known about student government before joining is that everything takes time. Everything is a process. When you first join student government, if you're very excited about joining, you might be thinking to yourself, oh my gosh, I want to set up this event and that event. I want vending machines with vegan options, and I want to put a frozen yogurt machine in the cafeteria, and I want to give every student a bus pass, and I want to be able to submit your grades online. Like, you want all these fancy things, and it's great. That passion is wonderful, but it's going to take time. Many times it's going to take more than one term, years and years and years. And because for many student leaders, it's just 1 year that they're going to be serving, most likely the big things that you want, you're either not going to get done or they're going to get done by somebody else. Many of the things you accomplish are going to be because somebody else worked hard before you. And that's just the way it is. If you want to get something done, understand that you're not in a silo. You are working within a college district if you're a public school, or you're going to be working in a private school. But there are administrators, there are faculty unions, there are contracts, there are all sorts of things going on behind the scenes, and you need to understand that. So don't get upset if the things you want to accomplish don't happen within the year. It's all good. Happens to everybody. Just know that the next person who takes your place, they're going to take it over for you. The third thing I wish I had known about student government before joining is this. This is huge, guys. You are not popular. There, I said it. You are not popular because you joined student government. You might think that you are because your face is on the website, because there are posters of you everywhere, because the dean of student support or the vice chair of this committee knows who you are, because you got nominated for an award, because you were featured in the school newspaper. You might think that you're popular, but if you ask any student up and down the street who you are, many of them don't know. Many students don't vote. On average, and I've seen these numbers, maybe 5% of the student population votes. It's very rare that a college has double digits when it comes to the student population and voting. So most people will not know who you are. Faculty, staff, administrators, they will be very familiar with you if you're very involved. Everybody else, no, not really. And by the way, don't feel too bad about it. Faculty members that you converse with on a regular basis, many faculty members don't know who they are either, and they have a much smaller population than the students. Same goes for administrators, same goes for any staff that's heavily involved in shared consultation. Many people just don't know who they are, so be humble. Don't think you're popular. Many times you're going to walk up to any student and they're just going to see you as that guy or that girl in a suit. Nothing else. The fourth thing that I wish I had known about student government before joining, this would have saved me a lot of pain, is whatever you experience, good or bad, doesn't last. It does not last. You might think you're at the top of the world because you got this done or that done, because you got a chance to go on this fancy retreat, internship, whatever, and you'll have great times. They're not going to last. By and large, most friendships fizzle out, and unless you keep in contact with people, you guys are going to lose touch. And it's very similar to what happens in high school. Now, the good news is that if you experience loneliness, if you experience bad news, if the school newspaper talks poorly about you, if you have a falling out with a person, if you and your advisor are getting along, that doesn't last either. So the good times don't last, but the bad ones don't last either. So seize the day, every single day, that you are in this position, because you have the capacity to do so much. It's not going to last though, so take every day as it comes. The fifth thing I wish I had known about student government is, and this is I should have saved this for the end, but it's important that I mention it soon. Not everything that you learn within student government is applicable in the workforce, unless you plan to work in government. But many of the things you learn in student government, such as parliamentary procedure, Robert's Rules of Order, Brown Act, they're not going to matter in the real world. Especially if you work for a business, if you get like a typical cubicle job, no one really cares. That stuff doesn't apply. If you are thinking about going straight into the workforce after your stint in student government, I suggest you pick up applicable skills. So things like graphic design, get Google Analytics certified, get Google AdWords certified, but get something that's a lot more applicable than what you learn in student government. They're typically not going to ask you if you know how to set up an agenda with the proper format. So just be very aware of that. If you want job experience within student government, you have to make it. Do not assume that student government is just going to give it to you. And the sixth thing, and the last thing that I'm going to say for this video, something I wish I had known about student government before I joined, is this will not make you timeless. Student government will not make you timeless. And I'll prove it to you. If you're in student government now, do you know who was student body president 5 years ago? What about 10 years ago? What about in 1985? You don't know who these people are. And in 5 years, no one's going to know who you are. No student government senator or president will know who you are. Unless you become famous. Unless you become Bradley Cooper or Bernie Sanders or some famous person. No one's going to know who you are. And you don't know who anybody else is. So please go into student government understanding that you are not going to live forever, even if your name goes on a building, even if your name goes on an official statewide government document, even if it goes somewhere in the university or college records. This is not going to make you timeless. If you want to be timeless, you have to find another way, because this really is not the way to do it. So those are the 6 things that I wanted to share with you about student government. 6 things I wish I had known before joining, things that would have saved me a lot of trouble. I'll be making more videos like these, again, unedited, uncut, just laying it all out there for you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. And if there are any topics you want me to cover, please let me know as well. And I'll be more than happy to talk about my experiences or anything else that I can leave you guys with. Until then, I will be doing some more research and reading your comments. See you guys next time.